Alright guys, Simon here. We're playing Mass Effect 3 and we have just made peace between the Quarians and the Geth. Wow, that was easy. I mean, we just had to shoot some Geth and then save some of them and then talk to people and then hey, peace. Peace after 300 years of conflict, and the Quarians are back on Rannoch. And everybody's happy. Wow, it's amazing. I'm so amazing. I don't know, the story is not very plausible, but hey, nice story though. Let's just see what we picked up then. So we picked up 810 points worth of Geth. Once feared across the galaxy, the synthetic Geth have allied with the organic forces they once called enemies. Their fleet and armies won't stop until the Reapers are neutralized. Yes, just like that. The Geth core, 300 points. Until recently, the Geth expected nothing but violence from organics and designed themselves accordingly. All Geth platforms are armed, shielded and built to withstand combat. When they are on the battlefield, enemy tactics and positions are swapped instantaneously between the AIs. The Geth also employ turrets and drones, expendable hardware platforms to keep losses of networked platforms to a minimum. The result is the largest, perhaps the best equipped infantry in the galaxy. The largest, perhaps the best equipped infantry in the galaxy. No, the Reapers have the largest and best equipped infantry in the galaxy. Or they will, once they start, indoctrinating and converting everybody into husks. But there we go. Geth. The Geth fleet. Many Geth vessels are built to explore, mine, or provide transport between factories and space stations. But every Geth ship, regardless of purpose, is also capable of engaging hostile forces. Unbound by the Treaty of Feraxon, the synthetic intelligences build almost as many dreadnoughts as the Turians. Amazing. The software running these ships is in the Geth themselves. Highly advanced electronic security measures and cyber warfare suites boast the already formidable firepower. And rewriting the Geth heretics significantly boosted the processing power of the true Geth. Their increased strength made their fleet both more efficient and more lethal in battle. So remember in the last game we rewrote the Heretic Geth. So what happens is if you rewrite the Heretic Geth are more likely to want to join the Reapers. And so it's actually more difficult to convince them to make peace here. So if you don't rescue Admiral Chorus and you don't do a few other things, then you can't actually get them to make peace. So if you rewrite the Geth, or rewrite the Heretic Geth in the second game, then you have to do everything right in the third game to get them to make peace. Otherwise, either the Quarians will destroy the Geth, or the Geth will completely wipe out the Quarians. Whereas if you did not rewrite the Heretic Geth, you destroy the Heretic Geth back in the second game, then it's slightly easier to get these guys to make peace, but it also impacts on the number of points there are. In the Geth fleet, you see that there, so they won't have the Geth heretics to bolster them, so you get fewer points there if you chose to delete the Heretic Geth in the last game. And that's about it. So we got the best of everybody, plus the Quarians. So we got Admiral Darozan, head of Quarian Special Projects. So she's gonna help with, I don't know what she's helping with. I guess she's helping with the Crucible. We got the civilian fleet with 150 points. Even the smallest crafts are equipped with ship-to-ship weaponry. Yay. Not sure why they will. I guess they're using these to move people around. Kind of rescue refugees from the Reapers. So, also since they've made peace, the Geth are also helping the Quarians. So if you don't make peace, then the Heretic Geth would actually weaken the Quarian fleet more in the battle, and you kind of lose the Quarians in that battle as well. But now they are actually helping the Quarians here as well. So the Quarian heavy fleet, they've got their cruisers and whatnot. I still have no idea how, the Quarian fleet is not strong enough to fight the Geth. I don't understand why they would. I mean, they had the flashbangs, and that's what they relied on. So if the Geth ever figured out how to bypass the new flashbangs, then they'd be screwed. Wow, I mean, they just kind of They pinned all of their hopes on one piece of new technology. I don't even know why. Alright, the patrol fleet sacrificed several of its ships to take the brunt of the Geth attacks on the heavy fleet, buying the heavy fleet time to repair its frigates and launch a successful counterattack. Alright, so we told Admiral Ran to protect the heavy fleet, so we got a few more points in the heavy fleet. And the patrol fleet, hold on, that was the... I don't think the patrol fleet actually suffers at all from doing that, yeah. So Admiral Ran, alright, so we've got all the points from that. Alright, Legions, oh Legion's gone. Legions is technically dispersed into the Geth consensus, but I guess we count him as dead. But more, he's just kind of dispersed his code. Yeah, if you have enough ships firing at it at the same time, you can do it.
Unread messages at your private terminal, Commander.
Okay. A little downtime from Ashley Williams, Shepard. This may be a dumb idea, but I heard you were having trouble sleeping. Don't freak out, words get around. That's weird. I heard you were having some trouble sleeping. Don't freak out, word gets around. Anyway, I was thinking it would be nice for us to get together, just the two of us. Find a quiet spot on the Citadel, or try to at least. We could both probably use the downtime. The nav point's incoming if you'd like to join me. Alright, let's go hang out with Ashley. I found work to do from Talizora. Shepard, just wanted to let you know that I'm going to join Adams in engineering. It seems like the best place for me to help as long as I'm coming with you anyway. Please drop by when you have a minute. Alright, so Tally's joined our ship. She's down in engineering. Progress report from Shyloran Vasranok. So now they're all called Vasranok. How do you distinguish between them now? I don't know. With assistance from the Geth, our fleet is nearly back to full strength. Well, that was fast. So yeah, the Geth are helping them repair the fleet and then actually, and all that stuff. We have focused most of our efforts on providing evacuation assistance and support for the Turian fleet, while the Geth harass the Reapers. Even with our newfound peace, it seems foolish to risk an incident by putting our forces in closer proximity. Fair enough. I understand from Admiral Zen that the Crucible project continues well, though Zen herself seems dissatisfied with the technological capabilities of the device. What? Well, she's got issues, alright, let's just say that. Though eccentric, she is also brilliant. It doesn't justify her madness. Not really. Hopefully she'll find some way to improve its functionality. Yes. I would never have believed you would talk Han down, Commander. Take care of Talizora for me. I will. Let's talk Quarian War. Diana Ellis, it may be hard to believe after what we just went through, but the rest of the galaxy is barely aware the Quarians ever went into the Veil, let alone started a war with the Geth. We are sitting on a major piece of history here. I have material from all the players except you. Can I get into your cabin for an hour to get your thoughts on the vid? Sure. Let's do that. Alright, so we can talk to everybody, we can go to the Citadel and hang out with people. We can even go play in the RMX Arsenal Arena for a while if you want to. Maybe I'll do that in my own time. Make sure we save here, because the slope of death is still there.
Gotta hand it to you, Commander. That's the first time I've seen someone end a war by yelling.
Yeah, by yelling.
After seeing what the Geth Rebellion really looked like, I figured they deserved a chance.
Thank you, Commander. I doubt many organics would have trusted a synthetic race.
And now we've got 2 fleets for the price of 1. We didn't lose anybody.
Except Legion, before it sacrificed itself. Legion referred to itself as I instead of we.
Yeah? So?
The singular pronoun indicates Legion's independent personality had fully actualized. In its last moments, it was not an avatar of the Geth consensus. It was a person.
That's what I figured.
Well, when the Geth fleet helps us retake Earth, I guess we'll owe that to him.
I'm sure they'll be fine. Like they do have self-preservation priorities, but I feel like the Geth are they're gonna be okay. I mean, Legion's a pretty cool guy, but all the Geth are pretty cool guys.
What's on your mind, Edie?
I was just reflecting. The Quarians' historical era was not making the Geth enough like them.
I'm not sure I understand.
Units with networked intelligences will trend toward cooperation for mutual benefit. But units with central heuristics establishing an individual personality, such as myself, develop preferences. These preferences form attachments that keep my calculations from devaluing the worth of the lives aboard the Normandy.
You're saying the Geth turned on the Quarians because they aren't individuals?
That is my theory, but it is limited to a sample size of one society. The only other notable synthetic society is the Reapers, and we do not know if they govern by consensus as the Geth do.
Do me a favor. Don't ask them.
I don't know if I agree with that theory. I don't think I do. Although the fact that they, you know, they need consensus, and the fact that they are more, you know, they gain intelligence if they network.
Commander Williams said something about enjoying some downtime on the Citadel. Might be a nice break for both of you.
Alright. So with the way the Geth work, it really incentivizes them to stick together. So they reach consensus and then they all do the same thing. Because they need to stay together to maintain their level of intelligence. Right? If they kind of split apart into, you know, different factions, then they all become dumber. Which is not smart for them. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. So even, you know, so when you have let's say half your people wanting to join the Reapers and half of them don't, then you have a problem because you really want to stick together. Because if you don't stick together, you're a lot weaker. Not just, you know, you just lose half your strength. You lose half your intelligence, which is crazy, right? So yeah, so they tend to stick together. So, you know, in any sort of war, in any sort of conflict with other species, the Geth will always stick together, even if, you know, individuals might not entirely agree with the consensus. They will still go with it, because the cost of, you know, splitting away is to become unintelligent. I mean, if a single Geth program disagrees with the others, it turns back into a VI. Like it's not even sentient anymore. It's not even self-aware anymore. So the cost of not following the group is very, very high for the Geth. So they kind of always stick together and they always work together. So there's, I mean, to be honest, the heretics and the way the Geth kind of split at that point is very unusual in that sense. Maybe not even all that plausible. That a small portion of the Geth population would decide to, you know, join the Reapers and split away from the main Geth faction. Although they could just be indoctrinated or something, I don't know.
Peace between the Geth and Quarians.
Who would have thought?
Not how I ever imagined that would turn out. Next you'll be telling me the Krogan and Turians are cooperating. Oh, right. You managed that one too. You're a peacemaker, Shepard. A rare thing these days. Now, if you can pacify the Reapers, we'll make you a saint.
Boy, aren't you gonna be surprised in a few more hours. We are gonna pacify the Reapers. Huh. Well, we have to. I mean, we have to finish the game, right? The game does end with you defeating the Reapers one way or another. Spoiler alert.
Another Reaper gone, and peace between the Geth and Quarians. It's amazing.
And now my people have a world to fight for. Something they know will last forever.
So long as you and the Geth remain good neighbors.
They're not our servants anymore. I'm not sure what we should call them. Allies?
Friends.
There's still too many wounds on either side. But maybe one day.
Alright. And nothing's there. And you know, from Sergeant Kavanagh to Sergeant Ichi. Next time you want to warn me that the Geth are our friends and that maybe we're not supposed to shoot the big robots. I almost pissed myself when those primes started dropping out of the sky and mopping up the Reapers. We fired a few rounds at them until we realized they weren't firing back. Then this one comes over and says they're Allied assistants and asks for our status. I'm not complaining they saved my crew, but I'm never living down having to apologize to a Geth for shooting one of its damn lights off. Alright, so the Geth is getting straight into work.
The migrant fleet and the Geth warships have joined Admiral Hackett.
Yes, they have.
Thanks for coming by.
No problem. You don't have much to say, do you?
A pleasure to see you.
Okay, where else can we go? Huh. None of us have played cards yet. There's a card, there's a table there, but we haven't played yet. I don't think anybody comes into this room. And nobody's back there with... Oh hey, you're standing for once.
Impressed you got those two groups together.
Is she like not looking at me? She's not looking at me. Alright. Hey Ash.
We'll see how long the peace lasts.
We'll see how long the peace lasts. That's not a good attitude, Ash. You want the peace to last a long time.
Commander.
She also has very little to say.